Hello and welcome! Silrace here with Star Citizen. We have flyable ships again, as in ships we don't normally own are flyable once again. So I'm going to do some impression videos once again for the ships. This is the Freelancer. I'm going to start with it. I've never been in the Freelancer cockpit before, so should be fun. So let's talk about Freelancer. Right, as you can see, the HUD is very unobtrusive. I really like that. It's like, especially this bit here, it's very much out of the way. It very much looks like it's just, you know, part of the paneling or whatnot. Looks really nice. I quite like that. Like, the HUD elements don't get in the way of your view, like, almost at all. It is brilliantly done. The biggest issue I have with this cockpit, obviously, is this massive paneling up top here. Because, well, flight reasons, as you can see, you can lose entire asteroids behind it. Like, right now I know there is massive rock there, but from this angle I cannot see that. So if I were to fly towards the direction and start slowly turning around, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a rock there. So you can lose ships, you can lose rocks and asteroids and space stations behind that massive panel. So you have to constantly keep checking, so like, okay, is there something there? Nope. Or then there is something there. Something to keep in mind if you wanna fly around this ship. Of course, other than this thing, you have very nice view on both sides of this cockpit. That is brilliant. Like, not so much down below the ship, but to the sides you have massive amount of view. And of course above, because there is like glass on top of the cockpit as well, so you can see what is above you, which is also kind of nifty. But the side view is brilliant. It is fantastic. I really like that. Really like that. Right, let's take a look at this ship from a couple other angles and fly it around a little bit. Then I'm gonna get outside and give you my view of the ship from the outside of it. So, from behind the ship looks a little bit like a box. It's like, it looks like a box with angled wings sticking out of it. And I'm quite okay with that. It's sort of a rugged design, and that has always appealed to me. From here, though, it looks like a very sleek box. You know? It looks like a very sleek box. Very nice. Also, the gun placement is just absolutely brilliant on this ship. It's like, I mean, look at those. This is just absolutely awesomely placed guns. I really like. Of course, personally, preference on having a gun which is mounted under the nose of the ship. It's sort of like an attack helicopter mount. But hey, when it comes to innovation and just looking cool, that looks cool, right? At least to me it does. And then of course there is the cockpit view, and you get to see the couple other chairs you have in this particular cockpit for people to, you know, come and be seated, and for you, you know, talk to you while you fly. This is mounts a couple crew members after all. And this firing pattern is really nice. Of course, you know, it might have a little bit of issues with convergence with 4 weapons mounted like this, you know, trying to get all 4 shots on a target might be an issue. But other than that, though, I really like the weapon placement. I really do. And they do come default on, well, adjustable mounts. As you can see, I can shoot in other directions than, you know, directly forward, which is quite nifty. Quite nifty. Alright, but way enough of that. Let's fly around a little bit, see what the maximum speed is. It's like, could this ship race anybody? No. No. Yeah, it just doesn't come to the racing ship speeds, like, at all. But hey, it feels fairly okay for maneuvering around with it, and it does get, well, some speed. some speed. I mean, last ship I flew around a little bit, around with a little bit ago, was a racing ship. So yeah, this isn't quite up there on the speed and maneuverability front, but hey, at least it can move. All right, so I guess that is positive. It goes forward. Oh, all right. So. Anyways, let's make a stop right here. Do not move. Let's get out of this seat and get outside of the ship, of course, because some things are still undone. This is how you exit the ship, and you cannot get back inside after that. So a little bit of an issue, but I wanted to show the ship from the outside because I cannot show it off otherwise from the outside. And as I mentioned, it looks a little bit like a box. It's like it's an elongated box, as you can tell. It's like I do like, and now we get to see those gun placements up close. And this is like, it looks nifty. Imagine if one of these was mounted underneath the nose, though. Like, if I go here, like, this looks like the logical place to put one of those guns at, right? At least to me it does. But still, even on these, like, that looks innovative, that looks quite nice on the ship. I don't know how well it will perform once you get to the, you know, actual combat and whatnot with this particular ship, so I have no idea. And of course, we have these things, which I did not actually fire any of. So do have these things. So it is not just those guns. It's the missiles mounted on the wings, which is also very nice piece of extra armament for this kind of a ship. So it can actually take on tougher opponents and things. And that also means that you don't need quite as much speed, because you can always, you know, send a missile to chase those fast things. There is the big rear hatch, which really looks like a big rear hatch, and I like that design. It's like it's just straight up, open the door, load stuff in, get on going. Very, very nice. The engines being mounted that much out of the hull is sort of a thing I have never been a very big fan of myself, because it's like if somebody shoots you between here, you might lose an engine. So of course, engine explosions or thruster explosions might damage the hull if they are integrated as part of the hull itself, but still, well, might be otherwise quite nice. So overall, I really like how this ship looks. All right, and I realize I am upside down looking at the ship, but hey, that's one of those things. Oh right, you can't just fly in there because hasn't been, you know, done yet. Can I actually enter it this way? No. Alright. I can close the door though. I can close the door, but I cannot actually fly in it. So there is that. Now where was the actual door into the ship itself? Very good question. I actually have no idea. I have never played around with a Freelancer before. I would assume it is either underneath the hull or to the side of the hull. Right. Ah, it's here. Alright. Okay, that explains. Let's open the door and see how that looks as well. I can't obviously get in there this fashion. Yes. That looks quite nifty, actually. That looks real nifty. I do like the cargo compartment and this cockpit entrance are very much separate. Very nice. Of course, there was a door connecting the two there, as you could tell, but If I open this ramp and look inside, oh yeah, that really looks nice. I do really like this ship on how it looks from the outside. Probably not enough to actually get one myself, but yeah. Also, in case you missed it and I haven't spoken about it yet, there is a rear view turret here. You enter it the same way you enter a rear, like top-down turrets on many other ships, through this particular bit here with the yellow stripes on it. It comes down and then you enter the seat and it puts you up top here. And then you have a, you know, a pilot flying the ship, and you have another person on top here firing, you know, another gun. So, in all honesty, this ship does come pretty heavily armed. I mean, it has missiles, it has the two, you know, mounted frontal guns, and it has this thing at the back here. A very, 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 very strongly armed ship right here. And since you have multiple crew members, yeah. Although I have to say though, because the entrance to this turret is at the very back here, if you load some big kind of cargo in here and whatnot, getting the turret might be a bit of a, you know, a pain to do in the heat of a battle. If you know, somebody has to get try to fast get to the turret and you have your bay full of various cargo boxes and whatnot, it might be a little bit of an issue. Maybe have the dude is sitting in there, you know, in general, but then bringing a lunch to him might be a pain. Anyway. Overall opinions on the Freelancer as I wrap up this video. I like the style, I like the look. Like, it is a sleek box of a ship with a very nice design. Absolutely hate this panel here which blocks your view from the cockpit or from inside the cockpit. Really hate that. However, I don't think it is a ship I'm going to get for myself. But I can definitely see the appeal for somebody else who really catches on to this design and the amount of guns it brings for being this sort of a ship. So, thank you very much for watching.